What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. And this article is, there's not much to it, but I believe that the headline is what really catches your attention. Now, let's discuss what this headline means, because there's a lot of things that you can come at from this angle of war on those who have not received the medicine. And I think this guy is incorrect. Now, why do I think he's incorrect? Because I think the war has already been raging. It's just been in lockstep, right? It's been happening one step at a time. And I think you're about to see the brunt of that war come to a head in the coming months, in the year 2022. Like I've said in my other videos, and I've shown you, Kristalina Georgieva, head of the IMF, has made it clear that medicine policy will become economic policy in 2021 and 2022. Now, I was thinking about my conversation I had with a few coworkers about the medicine. And like I said yesterday, I could not believe what I was hearing. Now, in thinking, I thought to myself, I just don't, I guess I need to put myself in their position in order to understand what they're thinking, right? And one of the arguments that seems to arise, even with other conversations, is, well, look at the hospitalizations, right? You don't want to overwhelm the hospitals. Or you don't want to transmit this to your grandparents or your loved ones, etc., that may be older or immunocompromised. I get that argument. And while that seems like a morally good thing to do, the common social good, which is the doctrine of the Catholic Church, that is stripping you away from your own independent, original thinking. Oh, do it because it's safe for everyone else. You're keeping everyone else safe. Whatever happened to doing it because, I can critically think for myself, look at the data, and see that there is a 99.7% survival rate for people in my age range. And I'm adding on top of that, that whatever risk is involved with not taking the medicine, right? You're going to be fine. But by taking the medicine, you're just adding another risk that may cause, I'm a tiptoe around this, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. Conditions with your cardiovascular system, with your bloodstream, sometimes even brain bleeds. Okay, however rare that may be, it's still a possibility. So you're telling me that because I want to keep someone else safe, I should take it, regardless of what I think the data is telling me, and regardless of what my critical thinking and my analysis of the data is, right? What kind of argument is that? Especially when you know that by taking the medicine, you can still transmit and contract the turbulent variant that's out there, right? So if we're on equal grounds of contracting and spreading the scary little thing that's in the air, what difference does it make? Yeah, okay, if I've taken it, I have less risk of having severe effects. Okay, maybe it lessens my the possibility possibility of me going to the hospital. Okay. Maybe gives me peace of mind. I don't know what else you can say, right? It increases my antibodies. Okay. But you can still spread it and contract it just as much as someone who hasn't received the medicine. So what are we doing here? Right? We know that the masks don't work. They recently came out with a study saying that it doesn't really prevent much of anything. So, and what's going on with the whole natural immunity discussion? Well, that's disappeared. So, all this to say that this is not about health. Never was. But the people who have been looking at the information, because there's plenty of information now, and there's yet more information that will be coming in, we know what the short-term effects are. What are the long-term effects? Right? I want to arouse your thinking. Because this is just the beginning, right? And you throw on top of that these natural disasters, right? These geopolitical events. And now you got yourself converging crises that are going to shake the very foundations of every country, every nation. But the war has started, make no mistake. I mean, and this war on domestic terrorism is also commencing. And when you're declared enemy of the state because of X, Y, and Z reason, whether that be you don't have the medicine, you might be labeled enemy of the state, non-compliant, rebellious. So, watch out. Before I go, though, let me throw in a little clip here, because this is all part of the converging crises I see coming, and thought this was interesting because there's been a lot of speculation because of, for whatever X and Y reason, that Kamala is going to be president. Let me just show you a video to pique your curiosity.
Mr. Ford, what advice would you give a young lady wanting to become president of the United States?
Well, I hope we do have a young lady at some point become president of the United States. I can tell you how I think it will happen, because it won't happen in the normal course of events. Either the Republican or Democrat political party will nominate a man for president and a woman for vice president. And the woman and man will win. So you'll end up with a president, a male, and a vice president, a female. And in that term of office of the president will die. And the woman will become president under the law or Constitution. And once that barrier is broken, from then on, men better be careful, because they'll have a hard time ever even getting a nomination in the future. But that's the way it's going to happen, and I think it'll probably come sometime in the next 4 or 8 years.
Okay. So, interesting there. And this is just something to keep an eye out, a lookout. Not saying that it's going to happen, but very interesting indeed. Because if something like this were to happen, there would be chaos, right? Where a president, happens to, for whatever reason, pass away, and you're left with the vice president. So, anyways, keep your head on a swivel. This is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.